Now, the theme about which Peter was speaking in the verse that we read from 2 Peter was the coming of the Lord Jesus. And I want to make one observation about the Greek word that's used in the New Testament for the coming of the Lord Jesus. Now, I have studied Greek since I was 10 years old, and I was once qualified to teach it at university level. It doesn't mean I'm always right, but it means I'm entitled to my opinion. So let me try to give you this simple instruction about the Greek word that is regularly translated the coming of the Lord Jesus. The Greek word is parousia, P-A-R-O-U-S-I-A, and it is derived from a verb, paraimi, which means to be present. So the literal meaning of that word is the presence of Jesus. But if Jesus has been away, then he can't be present until he comes back, you understand? So the use of the word present implies the return of Jesus, but it implies a lot more. It does not refer merely to the event of his actually coming back, but it refers to the state of affairs which will exist when he comes back. Now let me give you just a few examples. In the New Testament, it's used 17 times of the return of Jesus Christ. But in 1 Corinthians 16, verse 17, it's used of a man named Stephanus, one of Paul's disciples, coming to where Paul was. And he says, I'm glad for the coming of Stephanus. But how did he come? Or how was his coming a reality? Because he returned to where Paul was. But what it actually says is, I'm glad for the presence of Stephanus. In other words, it's not just the single event of Stephanus coming back, but it's that event and the ensuing consequences. The same phrase is used in 2 Corinthians 7, verse 6 of Titus. Paul says, Titus has come, and he's here. The word is Parusia. In Philippians 1:26, Paul is writing to the Philippians from jail, and he says, I believe that you're going to be glad for me at my coming to you. But the Greek word is at my presence. In other words, my presence will be with you again. Interestingly enough, in 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9, it's used of the Antichrist, the coming of the Antichrist. Not only does Jesus have a parousia, the Antichrist has a preceding parousia. But in every case, it's not just one single incident. It's that incident and the situation that results from it. I hope I've communicated that. Let me give you another example. The verb is used in John chapter 11, verse 28, at the tomb of Lazarus. When Jesus had returned, Lazarus was dead in the tomb. Martha went out to meet him. Mary, typically enough, stayed at home. And then Martha sent a message to Mary saying, the Master has come and is calling for you. The Greek says the Master is present and is calling for you. I hope I've communicated that, because it enables us to view the return of Jesus and the language about it in a slightly different way. We're not talking just about one single dramatic incident, but we're talking about that incident and all the ensuing consequences, which probably may go on for a considerable period of time. In other words, I believe it's logical and possible that the coming of the Lord extends over an unspecified period of time. And I believe that's almost essential, because all the things that are related to the coming of the Lord could not all happen instantly in one moment.